Let's see if this works. Pop out chat. Oh, yeah. I love this desk pin. So much better than always on top. Bam. It actually works. Let's see if this works. You can do it, Time Warner. You can do it, Time Warner. I have faith in you. I have faith in you. Hey, we're here. All right, so welcome. We're going to be getting started on another board today. I got a couple of toys here that I wanted to show you. So I got my new multimeter. This is the B&K Precision 390A. This thing has a link in the description. It was about 150, 170 bucks, which is totally worth it because now I can do this. And I got this new power supply, the PPS 2116A from Circuit Specialists. So I can hit this little thing on screen, and I can actually show you the amount of power being used at any given time by the power supply. I have the power supply on screen as well as the multimeter, which I think is awesome. And I can even set it using this on-screen application. So if I want to turn it on, I can switch it on and off using this. It's pretty cool. Also, my website has been screwed up for about 3 days. I did something very dumb, which was I actually tried to install security patches, and that was kind of a pain in the ass. But we are finally back up. In exchange for all the downtime, you can use discount code WORKS to get 5% off only for today. Buy your girlfriend a quick this holiday season. She will just don't waste money on jewelry, diamonds, vacations. I'm confident that she would much prefer having a quick. So today we're going to be getting started on an 820-3787. That appears to be dead. So let me just get my schematic and my board view open, and we can get started. I'm not impressed, someone says. Well, you can go fuck yourself. And I'm impressed, and that's more than I. Multimeter display needs borders. No, we believe in open borders here. Just kidding. All right, so let's move out my microscope and see what this thing does. Now, the first thing that's really cool that I can do is I can actually turn off my power supply from the software so that when I plug the MagSafe in, it doesn't go, which is what I usually have it doing. Ka-ching. Okay, so this looks like it's drawing 0.004 amps at 18.56 volts. So, what? That is almost nothing. That's almost nothing. So we got to figure out why. So let's take a look over the board and see what voltages are present and see what we can do. So I'm going to switch over to my schematic and board view here. And my multimeter, interesting. On this, I should move this over here so you can actually see it. There we go. Yeah, that makes much more sense up there. Bam. All right, so this is my meter, RS232. Let's make sure it's actually matching what's on the screen. Matching, there we go. So first thing I'm going to do is check out all the power rails here. Not much. Knowing your luck, SMC. You shut your face. You shut your face. All right. Let's scroll down to where all the power rails are at. Usually page 69, 70, somewhere around here. Thanks, you do a great job and are inspiration. Others keep up the great work. Thank you to Thrash. I appreciate it. We'll also be building a huge wall around the multimeter display, and it will be terrific. We believe in open borders on this open broadcaster stream. Okay, it's trolling me. Here we go. Power Rails page is on page 80 now. Okay. This used to be on page 3, then page 7, now page 80. Let's just keep putting the most important thing at the end so that nobody can find it. That's great. All right, so first rail we need here is PP bus G3 hot. So let's find PP bus G3 hot. Looks like I can see that right over here on this fuse. Okay, now we get to see if this multimeter display shit actually works. let's drag this over. Didn't test it before stream, but I'm sure that'll be fine. Okay. Let's see. Multimeter. Let's see. Microscope camera's not on. There we go. Microscope camera's on. Red digits on the background is a great idea. That's the one thing I don't like about this software is the other software allowed me to change that so you could see. I can't change the colors in this software, which sucks. Sorry. Sorry. All right, so it looks like we're getting 1.6 volts on PP Bus G3 hot, and we're still stuck at an amp draw of 0.004, which is pretty crappy. So let's check out the PP Bus G3 hot circuit. Let's figure out what makes it, and figure out why we're getting nothing. So this here is the PP Bus G3 hot circuit. It's going to take the power from the charger at PPDC and S5 charger, and it's going to turn it into PP Bus G3 hot. This over here is a buck converter. If you're not sure how a buck converter works, I'd highly suggest checking out my buck converter videos. This is going to work by taking pulses of the 18 volts from my charger, which is really my power supply here. So these transistors are going to pulse on, off, on, off, on, off. So you're going to get 18 and 0, and 18 and 0, and 18 and 0. And it's going to do that at a frequency that averages out to 12.56. But for some reason, instead of 12.56, we get, as you can see, 1.6. All right, so there's about a second of delay on the multimeter, but I'll live with that. Hey, STS Telecom is here. I need to see someone else fix something today. Everything I touch breaks. That was me yesterday, so you missed me having like 2 or 3 days of destroying a perfectly working website because I wanted to update it. But, yeah. So, feel better, trust me. Change the overlay color on Open Broadcaster to change the meter color. Huh. I'll figure that out a little later. I got it. So let's figure out firstly if we're getting PP, DC, and S5 charger voltage. So if we're not getting output, but let's see if we're getting input. So what is this? Where do we find this? We can find it on C7185. And the reason I'm interested in finding this on C7185 is because when I enter this, for some reason it doesn't really give me anything. So let's fix C7185. Sometimes the board view is not going to give me the volt. Sometimes the board view is not going to have the same names for the schematic. And that's okay, because this is made by Apple. Why would it actually make any fucking sense? So we're going to scroll over to here, take a look in the microscope camera, and see what voltage do we get on input. PPDCN G3 hot. We get beep, 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 beep. That means out of range. Let's try again. We get 18 volts. Look at that. So, okay, so something's going wrong between here and here. So it looks like it's made by U7100. So let's look up U7100. U7100 is going to be on the bottom of the board over here. And U7100 is going to be right over here. No. Really? TCRS says, re-hot battery, bro. 100% fix. I'm not going to re-hot battery, bro. And I saw the thing you posted to YouTube, onto Facebook. That was fucking hysterical. That was sad, but hysterical. Somebody managed to try to remove a battery, I think from either a phone or a laptop. They wanted to loosen the adhesive, so they decided that it would be a good idea to put a fucking heat gun over it to loosen the adhesive. And, well, you know that it's bad anytime that somebody uploads a video of a repair to YouTube or to Facebook, and they're using they're using a security camera rather than a camcorder. You know that that's something that didn't go well. That's how you can tell that it's something that didn't go well. Chris Long, did you ever figure out how to get your power supply and your multimeter on at the same time? Because trust me, this was weeks and weeks of trying different gear to figure out what works to get this thing, but it's so cool. I love it. Anyway, I'm gonna turn that stuff off and just focus on this crapola over here. This crapola. What is all this shit? What are wrong with you, little Mac? Now remember, if you go to store.rossmangroup.com, that actually works after 4 days of bullshit on and off downtime, and use coupon code WORKS, you will get 5% off. That's right. For a limited time only, for today, 5% off your order. Get your girlfriend a Quick. Get your girlfriend some fine multimeter probes. Get your boyfriend some mechanics UV green solder mask for this holiday season to show them that you love them. Fix my 820-35369 not charging, partly thanks to your videos. Ah, cool. What was the problem? Oh, speaking of new site, before I get started on this, I got some really cool news that I wanted to share with you all. Just got to find the paperwork for it here. So this, by the way, really important. This is from the Olean City Court. So remember that I had the website done, and it was $4,600, and it was complete and utter garbage, and I wound up having to do it myself. See if I could show you that on screen over here real quick. So that was, I got something really cool in the mail that I got to share before we go over fixing the board. Let's just add a window capture. Existing. Oh, other Firefox window. So this, you can find this on rossmangroup.com/blog. That's rossmangroup.com/blog. So this $4,600 crap website that I paid for, that the guy essentially said, fuck you, we're not giving you any damn money back. So a lot of you in the comments have said that I should sue, and this is from Olean City Court. This is the county that he's in, saying that I do have a court date. I am excited. So we do have a court date for commercial claims court. It's kind of like small claims court, except where you can do business to business. And I do intend to show up. I'm going to be putting together a small little binder with, like, just pictures per page with just a couple of words on it for the judge, just to make life all easy for him, with evidence and whatnot. I may actually be doing a stream where I ask for all of your advice on building myself a case. I got about a month to prepare it, and we're going to see about getting my money back from Mr. Dembski there. So anyway, but back to this board repair. Chris Long, you're dead to me. I read that comment, Chris. You done broke my heart. Okay, so binders full of. I'd like to have some pictures. Okay, so this is not going to be a fun board. You can see that there's a good chance that there's not a pad left over here. And you can also see, I don't know if it's easy to see on the camera, the board is raised in a spot over there. Just so then the website case closed. Yeah, I want to have some pictures and a little flip book. It was interesting because the dude said, oh, well, it took longer than expected, but part of that was because it took really long to transfer everything over. So I wanted to have an email where I have an email showing that for about a full week he was spelling my name wrong. And my name was spelled in my email. And my name was the name of the website. Like, he couldn't log into the site because he was spelling my fucking name wrong. Oh, man. Look at this. It's worse than my air conditioner. Yeah, that'll be it. Thank you to Mathis Schmeider. I appreciate that. Okay. So I have a feeling that this board is going to be... Let's see. Can I scrape past... Oh, good. So it's not the board that's raised. That's just a lot of garbage in the way. Ugh. Gross. Okay, let's clean that with an anti-static sparkle paper towel from Amazon. R7012 was bad. Charged it and recognized the Mac. Replaced it, working now. Well, that's awesome. You got back a working computer. And you did it yourself. So you got that nice feeling of pride and satisfaction that comes from making something work again on your own. Congratulations. That board is trash. I agree, this board does look like trash, but we are going to make it great again. So just stay tuned, folks. Stay tuned. Alright, we scraped away. We got some copper. I'm going to solder to that, baby. It's going to be amazing. This board is looking like Jess's gallbladder right now. Ugh. By the way, everybody say something nice, a little prayer, something happy for Jessa Jones of iPad Rehab, who's at a doctor today for something related to her, something with the gallbladder. For all the nice things that she's done for the community, all the stuff that she's taught. I genuinely hope her good health and well-being during this holiday season. I want to send you crap for Hanukkah, send it to the store or what? You're welcome to send it to the store. Although I have a Christmas tree up for the holiday, and I've been waiting for somebody to walk in and say that that's wrong. It says Merry Christmas with a little Christmas tree. It's one of those things that I think you're not supposed to do anymore. Kind of like Christmas, though, even though I'm not Christian. When is Jess's birthday? I think sometime in March. Nah. Alright, I'll just run wires for those two. Just deal with wires. Chris Long, I like my Christmas, man. I like my Vince Guaraldi trio. Okay. I do like having Vince Guaraldi trio playing during Christmas time. Let's find a donor. How much ultrasonic fluid did you get in that drive?
Why are you putting ultrasonic? These drives don't go in that ultrasonic space, right? I'm not a person, man.
Why do none of the donor boards have parts or components on them?
R37, 87 board, also looking to install the GPU boxes.
Hey, did you ever wind up fixing yours with the no GPU mux?
I gotta send it out to L2 or something.
Hey. Sean Hannity is somewhere on 4chan looking at ways to get triggered for the holidays. One of the things that always drove me nuts about Fox is it's interesting when people watch interviews and they say it's a weak interview. I always wonder if they mean, like, what is your benchmark for an interview? You mean that stuff on Fox where they just yell back and forth at each other for 3 minutes and then say, "Oh, okay, thank you very much for having this discussion." Because I used to watch Fox News around like 2004, 2005, and I noticed that almost all the time, all they did was scream at each other. And then I started watching stuff on YouTube, and even when people disagreed and they would talk, they acted like one person talked and the other listened, and then vice versa, and it went back and forth. And it's interesting because if you do that long enough, it's genuinely impossible to go back to watching a regular news station, because it's like watching 3-second MPEG 320 by 240 clips of porn after watching 4K 1 hour movies with professionals. It's like it feels cheap. It's terrible. Can't watch that shit. Hey. Since John asked, I have a 4924 missing PP Bus G3 hot at signs of liquid at U7000 and near CPU FETs. PP Bus shorted on creation side. That sucks. With any luck, you don't have a dead CPU. Who's trolling me with Lenovo board repairs? Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's. Thank you to Fix Squad. One reason I canceled cable TV 3 years ago. Yeah, don't go back. Yeah. I'm serious when I say that regardless of what it is I'm looking for information on or debate on, like when I want a one-sided, predetermined bullshit view, I will go to television and standard magazines, and when I want the actual story, I'll go to YouTube and listen to what numerous people have to say as they dole it out. And you feel like you got starved if you're just watching TV all the time. I don't know. I've genuinely become less interested in fiction on TV. I have almost no. I don't know if it's that I've gotten older, that the plots have been repeating themselves over and over again, and I've seen it all, or if I just grew out of it, or maybe it just all sucks. But there's nothing to watch on TV anymore. It's all boring ass shit. There's only so many times the same thing can be funny. Does it not make the assessment easier if you clean a gunk prior to soldering? I like to have the hints, that's the thing. So if something's not working, I like to be able to see where the corrosion was. Now, if I was working on an iPhone that was dropped in salt water or something, that would be a different story entirely. Straight to the ultrasonic you go after maybe just taking a picture or mental note of the general area. But something like this, where it wasn't really salt water, I like being able to see where the damage was. Because if I can see it all, then I can kind of fix it all in real time without missing anything. Whatever this is over here seems like it's broken. Close to hopeless. I'll probably have to run a jumper over there. Or not. Hey, we saved it. There we go. Let's cover it in a little bit of solder there. I'm almost gone totally back to the written word. I'm not sure I ever quit reading as much as I used to as a child. It's sad how many people don't read nowadays because they're used to reading in public school where you have to read stuff you're not interested in and answer questions that have nothing to do with the story. Because it kind of teaches people to hate reading. I know I was taught to hate reading by school. I'd be in the rare event that I'd actually be reading something that was somewhat interesting, they'd ask, what was the characterization between the postman and the main character? And it's like, who gives a fuck? That's not even remotely part of the story. It's like, I don't want to read the book for this. Yes, I was in somewhere into my 20s by the time I think I was 22 or 23 when I got reacquainted with reading as something that wasn't terrible. Because I actually got to read to enjoy. You missed last... Oh, fuck. What did I miss? Let's see. I don't have audio alerts. That's the last thing I'm missing. I gotta get something to plug switch my speakers between my Bluetooth thingy and the computer. Let's see. New to your channel, I'm going through a computer science degree and I'm interested in electronics, but I don't know much about it. But what I need to learn in order to understand what you're doing in these videos. Is it just digital logic design? This is not digital logic design at all. God P. This is not... this is not digital logic design. What this is, 99% of it, is detective work and common sense. Seriously, this is just puzzle solving, really. So all you need to really know is just know how the most basic circuits work. You know, what is a buck converter? What is an LDO? And then understand things like what are current sensing? What is a resistor? What is a transistor? And then you add that to basic knowledge about laptop, like, you know, what are power states, what's S5, S4, SO, all that stuff. And then you just kind of combine that with a little bit of detective work, and you get this. Yeah, I think a lot of people, when they ask those questions, they make this out to be much more difficult and much more confusing and much more specialty expertise, must be certified engineer to understand. In reality, I don't know shit about any of that. I don't really have to. Be good at this. Alright, so now we're going to replace our ISL 6259 with another one. Now where could we find an ISL 6259 if we needed one? If you need an ISL 6259, you can find one on mailin.repair, now actually working, unlike the last week. So if you want to find it, you can just go up here and type in ISL 6259, and it'll automatically find it for you. You can click, and it'll tell you every single board model that it works with. So over here, this board is an 820-3787, and as you can see, it's listed as a compatible board. Or, if you wanted to search by your board, you could type in 820-3787, and it'll show you every chip that's compatible with that board. Click, and it'll give you a list of results of components that will work for your specific model motherboard. All in stock, same-day shipping from New York City. Use coupon code WORKS for 5% off. Only for today, and back to our originally scheduled programming. So, let's take... Now, since I don't want to waste one of the ISLs that I will use, that I'm going to be selling, because I'm a cheap bastard, I'm going to take one off of a donor board. So, we're going to... New ones are for you. Certified pre-owned are for me. Dennis Rodman is going to North Korea to save us all. Oh, man. Have you heard Dennis Rodman speak with the news? That was actually a conversation where they did not interrupt. It was some conversation with mainstream news where there was no interrupting, which is very rare. But it was, yeah. I'm sure he made a great basketball player. Reading Gym Cam Start With No during train rides to and from work is great. Oh, that's a good book. That's an amazing book. If I could buy that book more than twice, I would. That was a good book. I loved Start With No. That's why kids hate math also. Yeah, that's the thing. Math is so fucking cool for so many things. And kids hate it because they learned it in school. From somebody that has no idea how to show you why it's interesting. It's fucking sad. That's why I refuse to use that vocabulary. Like when I say I don't like the Department of Ed, I say I don't like public daycare. I don't say I don't like public school, because by saying I don't like public school, I'm essentially conceding, and I'm conceding to the government, and that I'm using their vocabulary. Because by using their vocabulary and calling it a public school, I'm calling it education when it's not. It's shit. 13 years of that, and like 20 to 30% of the people entering CUNY schools need remedial math and English. Yeah, I don't call that education. There's so many cool things to learn. I really hope that in my lifetime we come up with a way to get kids involved in learning, real learning, not public school shit, where they actually enjoy it and find all the stuff as interesting as it really is. Okay. It teaches you to conform, obey, and conditions you to be told instead of to learn. Precisely. Whole lot of what you needed in 1840 to 1870, not a whole lot of what you need to be successful in 2017. How many things do you know of that have changed as little as school has in 160 years? Seriously, how many things in the world have remained almost that similar throughout 150 years? Almost nothing. I wish I could find my micro pencil. I feel much more comfortable with this if I had my micro pencil. And by that, I'm not talking about my penis. I propose an opportunity to you. I'm at one of those education facilities. How about you talk to them? Yeah, waste of time. The teachers that I had throughout public school were so fundamentally uninterested and just there was this clear us versus them mentality. Like the children were the enemy. Like the school would be so great if none of you were there. It was the prevalent culture and attitude. I'd much rather just do what I do now. If people are interested in something, I show them. I teach. It would be nice if people... I think it would be nice to learn in an interesting manner, so I teach what I do in an interesting manner. And then I encourage you to do the same. And if everybody did the same, if everybody taught the stuff that they were interested and that they were good at in an interesting manner for free, I think the world would be a lot better. So, be a part of the change that you want to see. That's what I would say. But yeah, walking into a public school and asking people to change, hey, why do they have to change? You know, they get paid anyway. You're forced to go to public school, so there's no real motivation for them to actually make it good or to care. You know, you're there anyway, so not like they got to give a shit. If you were forced to come to my store, I would not have to give a crap about the turnaround time. Okay, so what else is fucked up on this board? This thing looks terrible. One says nobody wants to take taxes to make that stuff happen. I mean, I think we're spending something around $13,000 to $15,000 a year per student on the current system. So that's quite a bit of spending. Looks like people are spending that as is. You know? I think you should. It's quite a bit of money to spend to have 30% of them have to take remedial math and English in college. Maybe it's a little bit on the methodology and not as bit of the methodology being the problem so much as the money. Have you been working on new generations? How do they fare in contrast to 2015? Not a lot of them. The problem is I can't find parts for them. I can't find chips. I can't find connectors. And for some of them, I can't even find schematics. So they suck. So until that stuff comes out, they're going to be terrible to work on. Just give this area generalized reflow. I think it would be nice if everybody in the world freely gave away some of the knowledge that helped them get where they are. If everybody made a little bit of effort to freely give away the knowledge that helped them get where they are using the modern technology and the tools that are available, man, the world would be an awesome place. We're getting there. There's a lot of people that do that. Hard to find teachers that will give an actual shit for the terrible money they get paid. Yeah, my high school English teacher made $60,000 a year, you know. $60,000 a year. Then again, he was one of the few that cared. But there were other teachers in his department that didn't give a shit. He made $60,000. This was like 10 years ago. 10 years ago, $60,000. You're not buying a... Don't get me wrong, you're not buying a boat with that, but... Yeah, I say, let's look into some more modern alternatives. Something that fits the 21st century and 21st century technology. Get rid of this whole 5x5 desks in a row and a board and one person reading out boring-ass facts to a group of people that are never going to use them again. We can do better. I'm confident that we can. So this little chip over here for the one-wire circuit looks like... Actually, you may be able to revive that. Yeah, it just looks like it was covered in some nastiness there. Just gonna go around here like that. The teachers I've had to get jobs during the summer. Oh my God! You mean they actually had to work every month out of the year like everybody else at their job? Oh, my heart! Oh, it's just bleeding inside of my chest for them. I don't care. I work 12 months a year. Half of the people in the fucking chat work 12 months a year. Jesus. Okay, maybe I overreacted a little bit. You get my point. It's like... They made so little money that they couldn't take a 2-month vacation every fucking year. Why aren't parents educating their children instead of hoping somebody else will? Well, that's another part of the problem, I think, is that essentially when you force people to pay for something, or you kind of make it not your responsibility anymore, you know? So if by law you have to give your child away for 6 to 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and by law you're forced to pay for it, then it kind of takes away the onus that you would have to do those things. Like one of the things my mother did, one of the few nice things my mom did, was she got me the little alphabet desk or something around 1990. Yeah, screw that. These resistors are terrible. They gotta go. Bye-bye. She got me this little alphabet desk, and she sat with me for 4 hours a day when I was about 2 years old and taught me how to read and write. She taught me how to... She actually I liked the car logos, so she got me to memorize the different car logos. So when I'd see Oldsmobile logo, I'd say Oldsmobile, and then she'd make me spell it when I said it. And she came up with these little systems for me to kind of motivate me to learn it. You know, that type of stuff. I think that stuff's important. I think talking to your kids is really important. If you want your kids to grow up smart, I think that talking to them as much as humanly possible, not just screaming at them and bitching at them and get over here and you little bum and blah, 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 and you best, you know, but engaging them with discussion, that stuff, you know, gets the brain going when you're a kid. Gets the brain going. Why don't you stream on Twitch anymore? Because when I do, it gives me an error. And since virtually no views, clicks, or anything come from that platform, I'm not really motivated to figure out why I get this error. It's like authentication something. It's something that if I put like a half hour into, I could probably solve. But since 99% of the engagement is coming from YouTube, I kind of don't want to. It's like another thing in the list that I have to do. The thing is, I didn't change anything, really. So I was using the exact same setup. I didn't change any of my settings or my protocols, and Twitch just stopped allowing me to stream one day. So I lost all interest in it. Alright. Yelling at children is a way of life. Yeah, that's the sad part. That's a cultural thing that's got to change. Yelling at kids, screaming at kids, spanking kids, bleh. Talking to kids, reasoning with kids, telling stories, asking for input. Even if you think they don't really get you. That's one of the things I appreciate about my dad. Even when I was 2 or 3 years old, there would be these other people that would talk to me and go, "Oh my God, you've got so tall." And my dad would look at them, and then I would look at the person like they were an idiot. And my dad would say, "Why are you talking to my son like he's an idiot?" And they would look at my dad like, "Huh?" And you can talk to him like he's a normal person. And I like that. And I never run. And then there would be these people that, "Oh my God, you're so tall. Oh my, look at that outfit. Wow, are those new shoes?" It's like, shut the fuck up, man. I mean, I don't know where society got this idea that kids are completely retarded from birth up until the age of 18. They're not, actually. You can actually have conversations with them. You can ask, you know, my dad would have stuff on the news and he'd ask for my opinion on it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Fuck if I knew what was going on in society when I was 2 years old. But he still did it just to make sure my brain was always working and just to make sure I was always thinking, always analyzing. It really did come in handy. I'm genuinely glad he did that type of stuff. And the thing is, I didn't really appreciate it as much until I got older. Because when I was a kid, it's not like you have a lot of experience. I just figured everybody did that. But then when I saw how other people treated their kids, my God. Fuck. No wonder the world is so fucked. Now I wonder why. I go through my comments sometimes and I wonder why so many people don't know how to think. Like so many people ask me, "Hey bro, where you get schematics?" When it's literally the first fucking result on Google for schematics by your board number. And I think that has something to do with it, you know. It's one of these things, it's like a language, you know. It's easiest to learn a new language when you're a kid. I think it's easiest to learn how to think when you're a kid as well. If you don't learn it when you're a kid, man, it makes it a lot harder to learn it later in life. 820-3332 owner. I could not resolve U8900. Far too big to solder, but managed a bit. Worked for 2 days, then backlight went. That sounds like you destroyed something, my friend. I'm sorry. You fucked something up, and there's so many things to fuck up on that specific board that there's no way I could even remotely begin troubleshooting what it is for you. That's a difficult one. And honestly, that's a difficult one even by professional standards, so I would love to help give you advice on that one, but I really don't know where to even begin. Too many. I like to order Amscope microscope, but I live in France. Yeah, that's a tough one. The quality of upbringing is going to be what differentiates people. I think so. Yeah. And it was funny because a lot of people will say that that has to do with poverty and that has to do with money and that has to do with a lot of other stuff. And I mean, I think the most money my dad ever made, was something in the realm of $25,000 a year. I think 1 year he made like $35,000 after he got a bonus. My dad spent a good amount of time on disability from, I guess, not disability, workman's comp, because they used this experimental cleaning fluid at this restaurant, and essentially you could be walking this slow and step on it and immediately just slip as hard as you can, and it destroyed every part of his knee, it destroyed every part of his shoulders. He was completely broke for quite a while, and then when he was able to go back to work, he worked from like 7 in the morning to 11 at night. But even when he got home at 11 at night, tired, dead tired, woke up at 4 in the morning, took a 3-hour commute, went to work, got there at 7, left work at 9, got home at 11. He'd spend an hour talking to me. Dead broke, completely tired, no money, so I don't know. That's why I just don't buy I don't buy a lot of the excuses that I hear that people use for treating their kids like shit. Anyway, so let's see if this thing turns on. Kate Floss returns. I got a pewter, it ain't working. What's broke? 99% of people who call me. Yeah. Is it okay? Post a link to a store in the Netherlands that sells a few Amscope models. By all means, go for it, Rick. I didn't know, so I may actually start referring people to that store if people are in the Netherlands. What a desk that's stable. Yeah, check this out. Watch this. So let's say we're looking at a part of the board, and I bang the desk. Look at this. That's a steady desk, ain't it? What happened to the Quick? The Quick is on the other table. Nobody here. So Jason gets Quick. Paul gets, I can't turn it around too much. Paul gets the JBC, and Lewis gets the piece of shit. That's the way it works. All right, so let's get on some of my testing gear here. Anyone want to make money and fix my 2015 15-inch Retina board? Sure, unless it has a dead CPU. We'll fix it, unless you have a dead CPU. Is your PP Bus G3 hot, shorted through the CPU MOSFETs Mac Pro? If it is, then I cannot help you. If it's something else, then maybe we can. Okay, so anyway, we're going to plug it in. We get 0.005 amp usage. Or at least the light's not blinking anymore. But still totally dead. Lame. Oh, wow, that's a long one. Let's see. What did you post? As tutorial maker and trainer, my challenge is people not wanting to learn proper technique. If I show how to code properly for long-term maintenance, they get frustrated saying, I saw easier way, this is overkill. A year later, they confirm my predictions. Yeah. Sounds like trying to get people to not reflow GPUs. It turns on and off again after 5 minutes. Oh. Yeah. How about you send that one to Chris Long? 2015 MacBook Pro that turns on and off again after 5 minutes. You see that guy named B&C Connection in the chat? He would love to fix that randomly occurring problem. I take back my offer. I think he would be great at that. All right, so let's figure out why it is we have only 0.012 amp usage. Let's grab my multimeter probes here. U.S. colleges or adult daycare. They have turned into that, yes. Nobody is born hating themselves. It has to be learned from college sociology and Tumblr. All right, so let's go to page, what was it, 70-something that's got my list of rails? Here we go, page 81 over here has got my list. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to check the top one, Pepe Bus G3 Hot. Let's see what we get on Pepe Bus G3 Hot.
Multimeter works?
Yeah, look, see, on the top. It has a second delay, but watch. I do this, and it's... Oh, it's... Shut up, multimeter. There we go. Hey, 12.56 volts. So we've gotten somewhere. All right, so let's continue down the line. PPVin S5, HS, Computing iSense. Will you stay late and fix this board for $99? No, you would have to be out of your goddamn mind to spend all day on a board for $99. I think Jessa put all our money into the wrong penny stock, maybe. Alrighty, so that's present. This is so cool. I love the way the multimeter shows up on screen now. GPU, I don't care about that yet. I don't care about these. I don't care about trackpad. DCN has got to be there because everything else is. PP342 is there because I get a green light. PPVRTC G3 Hot. What's up with you, bro? People still reflow GPUs. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, they do. Do they? They do. Why do they call that a logic board when buying a Mac is totally illogical? It's vocabulary, man. That's how they control you, man. Department of Defense. Is it about defense? Department of Education. Is it about education? Logic board. Is it logical? I don't think so. Don't concede to their vocabulary, man. Sound like Alex Jones's cameo in Waking Life. All right, PP5VS5 is going to be here. And look, they gave it an iPhone name. They called it Cumulus. Really liking this on-screen display. This was entirely worth $150. Honestly, it's worth $150 for this. Here, PP5VS5 is there. Check this out. And granted, I'm doing a lot of shilling now, but watch this. You guys remember how my meter on the desk always used to topple over, right? Look at this. Watch this. See the meter? You remember how it used to topple over anytime I was moving it back and forth? Look, even if I'm moving it really quickly, it never... Well, I could be really mean to this thing. Even at, like, here, let's try to make it move. Can I tip it over? Look at that. It's impossible to tip this thing over. It's just really impressive how hard it is to actually get it to tip over. I just thought I'd mention that, since even my fluke meter is a pain in the ass with that. It's pretty easy to get it to tip over. So I'm just saying, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't have bought this if it wasn't for the on-screen display, but that is a kind bonus that I got with it. I did appreciate getting that as a bonus, that it doesn't... But again, for $150, if that thing tipped over, I'd be raging. I would be raging. Yeah, this is a B&K Precision 390A. Don't get me, I'm not usually the type to spend that much money on a friggin' meter, but I tried all the cheap ones and then eventually had to give up because none of the cheap ones actually worked. They would work for short periods of time, but not long. And then I bought other ones, and then the second cheap one I bought didn't work, and that's when I had to say fuck it. Like, I can't spend my end. Am I just gonna bite the bullet, or am I gonna spend half my life troubleshooting multimeters? Okay. So I got this B and K. This is now my new shop meter, and I really like it. So PP5ES4 is missing. And PP5ES3 is going to probably be missing as well. Is it possible to solder and unsolder a new one? Are you talking about graphics chips? Or something else? Oh, can you swap CPUs? Yeah, you technically can, but who wants to go through all that shit? There could be something else wrong with the board besides the CPU. The board you're taking the CPU from could be bad. It's a 45-minute long process. That's annoying. You're doing all that for something that is not really guaranteed to fix whatever it is your problem is. Meh. Okay. RS-232 back on. Yeah, so we're missing PP5ES3 as well. So now if we look at the chip responsible for creating that, that's going to be this thing over here. Let's see if it's getting its enable. So PP5ES4 is created when it gets P5ES4 enable at pin 4. Alex Joyner was in a scanner darkly not waking life. No, he wasn't waking life. Granted, he was in waking life as a cartoon, but he was in waking life. And hey, look, we're drawing 1.6 amps. Why is that not showing on the screen? Power supply. Hello. Oh, now you're showing on screen. Okay, so it's 1.6 amps is turning on. And now it's turning on. And I didn't do anything to make it turn on. So there you go. Look at that. Fucking fixed. Alrighty. That's totally fixed, brah. Let's turn off the power supply because it doesn't have a heatsink. We're going to clean this board off, and I'll show you what it looks like once the cleaning process is through and through. And then after the cleaning process is through and through, you can see what it looks like, and that'll be it for today. It's kind of cool, is it not? Took a board that looked like garbage and we made it work again. That's what we do here, and hopefully if you're watching this stuff, that's what you're doing as well. Now we need a blood pressure monitor and blood pressure display. That would be cool. Let's take these cables off. We're going to ultrasonic this board. Now, before I turn the ultrasonic cleaner on, because that thing is quite noisy. See if I can give you a whole view place. Yeah, that's nice, ain't it? The ultrasonic makes a lot of noise, so I'm actually going to turn on the low-pass filter here so that you can't hear it as much. You're still going to hear it, but I'm going to put my low-pass filter at 6 kilohertz. All right, so it should be cutting off all the audio after 6 kilohertz. That is incredibly obnoxious and noisy. You get a nicer view of the office now, don't you? I should probably get a lens for this camera that allows you to see the entire office. I got to find some lenses for this. I'm not really knowledgeable about that. I'm also going to clean my desk after that because I now have this desk costs $400 something. Don't want to screw it up so quickly. Are you able to sell MacBook backplates? No, I'm sorry. I don't have anything like that. Excuse me. Don't kill the ASMR. That's my ASMR. You don't like it? What don't you like about it? Check this out. Look at how legit we made this. Ready? Eh? We got a fucking vacuum cleaner. I haven't had a vacuum cleaner since I think I moved here. Get all that solder off of the floor. Old ISL chips. I wonder how many dead ISL chips are inside this vacuum cleaner. Look at that new floor. We use Windex for everything here. I have a MacBook Air liquid damaged, and when I remove battery, then start normally, but with battery, it shows low battery and dies. Is PP-Bus G3 Hot actually PP-Bus G3 Hot, or is it sending charger voltage to your battery? I had that problem with Mark yesterday. I felt dumb at how long it took to solve it. Like in this office. I find that that board, non-Mac, feeds 18 volts to the CPU, and I fixed that. Will it work after CPU replacement? Possibly. The fitter, happier, more productive floor with no hole to fall into. Indeed. Looks like you are carrying the power supply I use. Wait, Chris Long, are you using the Circuit Specialist 2116? I wasn't impressed with the ripple voltage that it had compared to the HP, but I do like that it actually fits on my desk, which is important because this does not fit on my desk, and also that I can attach it to the computer. I think that's incredibly cool. And it doesn't have a fan. You know, it's not like I'm using it on any type of production circuit where those features are really, really important. Gotta flip the board. Oh, well. Ugh. Gross. I didn't really do any work on the other side, so I shouldn't have to do too much cleaning on that side. How much did you buy it at? They used to be 90, now they're over 130. I bought this actually, I think 70 something because I got a refurb. So they only had, I think, one refurb left, and I got it. This desk is so messed up from ultrasonic cleaning fluid. I should have got a mat for it a few years ago, but since it was already kind of a nasty, crappy desk, I never thought about it. Drip off. Okay, time for you to go into your alcohol bin. turn off the low pass now. I wonder if that's ASMR. Let's test this. Hey, it's me. Board repair, darling. No, I can't get the. That would be a cool way to make $10,000 a month, though, wouldn't it? Okay. Let's get this out of here. Dry it off. Dry it off with the air compressor a little bit, probably. I should probably do the air compressor or the oven. And we'll go straight for the oven. Straight into the oven with you. Bored? All right. Okay, what do you have in comments? Why is it if somebody yells duck, they are helping you, but if they yell chicken, they are insulting you? Oh, it's privilege. It's a duck privilege. When are you going to check out the Sharper Tech Ultrasonic? Eventually. The Wick link is to an ended eBay listing. Yeah, that's what sucks about the eBay affiliate thing. I can't find the Goot Wick on there. I'm actually going to start selling it soon. I bought a bunch of it, so it's going to be on the site soon enough. Blow the chips off with compressed air. No. The banner below is a little transparent. Oh, I suppose it is. You could see little marks on my floor that I was hiding with it. Buying a 2011 13-inch MacBook Pro with water damage and won't boot for 100, yay or nay? No. 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 Don't do that. Don't buy something that has a resale value of $300 to $400 when it works for 100 with potentially unfixable damage. Don't forget about the great new toilet door. Yeah, might as well show you that in case you missed it. Bathroom door. Is that not the world's best bathroom door? Look at that. That is where Apple products belong, my friends. That is where Apple products belong. Anyway. I kind of like that setup. Paul did a really amazing job with the bathroom remodeling. Is it worth fixing an 820-3332? Or is it a gigantic piece of shit? It is a gigantic piece of shit, but it is worth money. And it's still powerful enough to do a lot of modern tasks. So I would absolutely fix it. What's wrong with it? What's the issue that you're having with it? I remember a year ago you said there was no use in selling items. I'm happy you've changed your ways and are taking advantage of a profitable way to do things. Happy for you. Some of it's really profitable. Some of it's really not profitable. We'll see at the end of the year. I'm going to see at the end of the year how it works out. Like some stuff like Flux is easy. Chips, pain in the ass. Tools can be a big pain in the ass because companies like Quick and Crest are impossible to deal with, but we'll see. I hope it is. My 2011 MacBook Pro shows red lines on the screens, won't boot any ideas. You have a fucked GPU, unfortunately, and that is entirely hopeless. Did you get into Bitcoin? No, I've been investing in other stuff. If I invested in Bitcoin, I would have made more, but I don't really look back on stuff like that. I'm happy with myself. I bought AGRX at 250. I sold it around Thanksgiving. I mean, can I really be that mad? My CXW went very well last year. Rail went well buying it before the election and then selling it around 18 this year. It got red line disease. Take it to a homeopathic healer. Kate is trolling you. See that Kate? That Kate woman's trolling you. Chimes, no video, probably GPU. Yep. Bitcoin will crash next year, calling it now, says Chris Long. I don't know. I don't think so. The thing is, more and more businesses are taking it seriously and taking it. It's not just Backpage using it for hooker ads anymore. I mean, I want to get merchant services up on the website to take Bitcoin over the next month. That's a goal of mine. You want the 2011 Mac with the red lines? Yeah, there's no fixing that. You need a chip that doesn't exist in good condition. How much would it cost to ship Flux to the UK? I actually have a canned reply for that. I'm going to paste it into the chat. So I got this new canned reply thing for email, and it's fucking awesome. For Thunderbird, and I also have it on my phone. And crap, I don't have I don't have it on this computer. God damn it. I wish there was a cloud canned reply thing. Damn, I can't. Let me see. I can't canned reply you. Actually, I think I may. Yeah, I can't. The site will calculate the shipping for you, but I have no way of doing it. Like, you have to put your zip code and your country and all that stuff, and it'll calculate it. I think it'd probably be like 10 or 15 bucks, maybe. I'm not sure. How does Teflon stick to a pan if nothing sticks to Teflon? How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I don't know much about cryptocurrency investing. I do know a lot about regular stock investing, and I'm pretty good at it. But I know damn shit about cryptocurrency investing, which is why I haven't jumped into it. If I had jumped into it, I'd have made a lot more money. But when I'm dealing with my life savings, I tend to put that into things I'm knowledgeable about. I mean, I beat the S&P 500 this year. This year, I beat the S&P 500 by either 38 or 44 points. I got to go back in and check. And I still have a good chance between this next month and a half to make that go up to 50 or 60, but we'll see. But I kicked the S&P 500's ass this year. So as much as I would have done probably 3 times better if I invested in any cryptocurrency, I can't be mad. Because if I am, then I'm going to stop making decisions based on things I know, so I could try to not be mad at what I didn't get, and then I'll wind up losing all my money. I don't want to lose all my money. I like having money. Is Moot still a mod? Moot should still be a mod. Is Moot here? Huh, don't see Moot. What's up, Moot, if you are here? Alright, we're almost done drying that thing. You seem to be responding to comments and questions that are not in live chat. Where are they? They're here. They're right in this live chat. I think we're reading the same thing. It's either that or I have some form of schizophrenia, which I really hope I don't. What phone are you using? I'm using a Samsung S7, which is... I like the fact that it's liquid resistant. I have no patience for a phone that's not liquid resistant anymore. I don't want to have to deal with it's raining heavy outside and I want to look at my phone. Did I kill it kind of garbage? Or I just washed my hands and I didn't towel dry them. Am I going to kill my phone? It's 2017. I don't want to deal with that kind of BlackBerry bullshit in 2017. But this lack of removable battery is crap. And honestly, the screen on this is better than the screen that I had on my Moto G. And the fingerprint sensor is cool. Outside of that, there's no genuine noticeable difference between this and the Moto G. I'm being serious here. Like, fingerprint scanner, better screen. Moto G is 170 bucks. This thing is 600. That's literally the only thing that I could notice. Oh, and I think the Moto G would be more durable than this. It's speculation. I haven't done any drop tests on it. I haven't done a drop test because my videos make like 10 or 20 bucks each, and this thing is 600. So fuck that. But I've dropped and beat the shit out of the Moto enough times that I genuinely think the Moto would kick this thing's ass in a durability contest. I have a Moto here. I've just been lazy about reviewing it. I don't know where did I put that thing. Moto G4. It's somewhere in this office. Yeah, somewhere in here somewhere. But I'm gonna review it one of these days. I keep putting it off because like I hate it. You have to get the camera angle right, and you have to match everything, and I got to get a SIM card for it, and I got to transfer all the data. But I think it would beat the crap out of this thing. It's definitely not worth a $450 difference. Definitely. How do you feel about the iPhone 10? You know, the $1,000 all glass ready to shatter phone. I think that is a steaming pile of shit, and I would never buy it. You can literally buy like 6 Moto Gs for the price of one iPhone 10. I don't fucking get it. I don't get it. People are going to buy it too. That's the funny thing. All right, anyway. Let's take a look at this board under the microscope. I think it should be decently dry by now. You show the OSD interface of your new power supply. I don't know what you mean by OSD. On-screen display. Duh. Yeah, I'll show you that. I can ungreen screen it, I suppose. It's nothing special. What is the new power supply? This is the PPS 2116A. Is that KDE? Oh no, I think that's OS 10. You like anything Apple? I have a set of rechargeable batteries from Apple. I mean, Samsung has a better screen than almost everybody else. And that used to matter to me because I used to watch TV on my phone on the train. And I don't do that anymore. I listen to a lot of talk shows. So that doesn't matter to me anymore. So I really have no reason to have a Samsung. Spending a lot of extra money. Like it's $450 sexy screen fee. Hey, Lewis, I'm trying to design a device I want to sell and I had a question. I understand how capacitors work due to your video, but how do you know when/where to use them? Well, you use capacitors in a couple of different things. One of the places that you may use a capacitor is in a filter. So you're going to see sometimes that you see a capacitor in series with an inductor, and that's usually a filter to keep out certain frequencies that would otherwise interfere with your circuit. The next time you're going to use capacitors, very often, is as a bypass capacitor. So let's say that you have 5 volts. Let me put this in Paint. I'm going to add Microsoft Paint over here. So I'm going to do a little drawing for you in Microsoft Paint. So here we go. Here's Microsoft Paint. So let's say that this is your chip, right? And it has legs. So let's say this is minus 10 volts, and this one is plus 10 volts. And let's say that over here is your power. This is your power supply. Right? Now, this is 10 volts. Now, on this side of the board, your 10 volts is going to look, and let's just say that let's make a PC board. The PC board is going to be green, right? So we're going to make a green PC board. Let's make a green PC board that all this crap is on. Now, on this side of the board, close to your power supply, your 10 volts is going to look like this. And we're just going to say that's 10 volts in your power supply. 10V. Let's change the font here. So this is going to be your 10 volts. There, 10 volts. 10 volts near power supply. And now by the time it makes its way over to the other side of the board, your 10 volts is not going to look like that anymore. It's going to look something like this, because of all sorts of crap that, you know, Dave Jones or any of the real electronics YouTubers that know what they're talking about can explain to you. It's going to look like this. So you can, instead of having 10 volts that's nice, it's going to look like this. It's going to have spikes and all sorts of bullshit in it. And that's going to piss off your chip. Your chip is going to be, you know, pissed off. So what you do to make your chip happy is what you can do is you can take a capacitor, and we'll make our capacitor green. And let's say that this is ground over here. Ground. So now you can take a capacitor, and you can wire that to ground. So so even though your 10 volts over here is going to be raging up and down bullshit, by the power pin of your chip, it's going to look something like this after you're done. Like right over here. The capacitor is going to make it a nice, happy, pappy, straight line again. And so this is one of the main, easiest things to use a capacitor for in a circuit. That's the most common use that I see is it's used by the power pin of a chip, because while the power is going to that part of the board, it's going through all this other crap on the board, and it's going to wind up, instead of being straight, it's going to be all blah, 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 and not work very well. Now, if you want to actually learn about real engineering instead of just, detective motherboard repair and business stuff, I would suggest you can watch Mike's Electric Stuff, Afrotech Mods, EEV Blog with Dave Jones, Mr. Carlson's Lab. There's a lot of other channels run by real electronics engineers where you're actually going to learn all that design stuff that I don't know jack shit about. And they all have a bunch of free available tutorial videos and guide videos, and Dave has a forum, all sorts of stuff that you can use that are going to help you out on that journey where I fall short. Sorry. 16, nearly the same cost as Flux, and not even figured out if there would be an import charge. Yep, that's why international e-commerce sucks. Yep. International e-commerce sucks. Especially international e-commerce with cheap items. Absolutely sucks. Which laptop do you travel with? I travel with my Lenovo P50. Okay, so let's go over the board, and then I'm gonna get out of here. So, Big Clive as well. I almost forgot about Big Clive. You can check out his channel. He's got a bunch of good stuff. So this is my liquid damaged pile of junk, and you can see what it looks like over here. Look at that. Look at that sexy beast of a board. A bit of dust on it. Not going to touch that because God knows I'm going to destroy it. Look at this sexy beast. Look at this sexy beast right here. Yeah, we probably should touch up more stuff on that, but that'll be for later. Excuse me. That is a beautiful board. Look at that. Fucking factory. Factory. All right. Excuse me. So that is it today. As always, I hope you learned something. Our store is back up. You can see a link to it below. And for today only, if you buy with discount code WORKS, WORKS, as in after up 3 days of screwing with my website, it works again, you will get 5% off of all purchases. Do you really love your significant other? Consider getting them an ultrasonic cleaner or a quick 861DW hot air rework station to put under the tree or the menorah this holiday season. That's it for today, and as always, I hope that you learned something.